questions? Anybody? Yep.
When will the prisoners be coming in? What entrance?
We spent a lot of time on that because there's one formal entrance to the building, and we're sort of taking that up. And I think Amy's prepared to talk about the police entrance here. But to get prisoners in, we're going to access the rear of the building off of, what's that nice little street? Vanderbilt Street. It takes it away from the main traffic. It takes it away from members of the public coming in and out of the court. This can be controlled much more easily because it's not a very wide street. You can see there are good sight lines up and down by placing a reserved parking space or two back here for police vehicles. The prisoners typically come over from the jail, so they're transported by the sheriff's department. They would pull up here into a security control door, straight down this hallway into the holding facility. The chief has designed several holding cells strictly for standard use, say on a weekend when you're holding someone waiting for the sheriff to pick them up. For individuals coming to court, appearing in court, they'll come down into a general holding room. And as you may notice, depending on how far back in the room you are, we have an attorney-client interview or conference space here, where an attorney could come down this hallway, go into this small room. The way the secure conference rooms work is there would be a chair on the attorney's side and a small counter, solid glass with a microphone, no way to pass things back and forth. The prisoner would be allowed into the other side of the room with the door closed for confidential discussions. One of the biggest problems in city courts where an individual is arrested overnight is it's nigh to impossible for an attorney to be able to contact and discuss the status of that arrest with a client before court starts, which typically starts about 8 or 8:30. So a secure attorney-client conference space is very much needed in all of our city courts, so we've provided it that way. It was a bit of a difficult design problem, but we came up with what we thought would work. Actually, it's the only way we could figure it out at this point. Yes, sir.
Yes, in Governor Patterson's budget, I'm sure you're well aware of, they're looking at video from the jail instead of transporting these prisoners. It used to be that prisoners had a choice. And the Attorney General this week and the Governor also said they're going to make that possible, that they're not going to get the choice anymore. That the jail should be equipped with a room for the prisoners, video conference to the judges, so there's no more transportation of these prisoners, which would save millions of dollars as far as overtime for guards and also for the transportation of the buses. So where does that fall in with this?
I missed that,
You missed it.
but if they fix the video arraignment statute, it would be a wonderful thing.
Yeah, that's the issue.
Unlike any other arraignment situation, which the location of which is controlled by the court, under the video arraignment statute, which makes perfectly wonderful sense in this day and age, in this electronic age, but there's such a giant problem with it in that you cannot compel a defendant to appear on a video arraignment. So we have built two of the jail facilities in our 10 counties in the district, wonderful video arraignment rooms, complete with, by the time you're done, about $50,000 worth of equipment, secure lines provided by Time Warner or the local cable company for nothing. You wire a nice little conference room, typically in the courthouse, so if an attorney comes into the jail, they can converse a week before a trial or at any point, really, just by scheduling. We set up the equipment in the courtroom so the clerk can run it, the judge can watch it. You can have 3 or 4 or 6-way coverage on the screen, and so you run it for a day or two, and then word gets around the jail that it's not so much fun to walk down the hall in custody and go to the video arraignment room. It's a lot more fun to get out into the fresh air, see the countryside, drive around in the van for a few hours. So after that, your $50,000 worth of equipment and your wonderful little room are worthless. And in both of the locations where we built the facilities, they now use them as card rooms or game rooms or storage rooms or something.
That
So,
was before, that's not.
if they're sponsoring legislation, that's wonderful. Clearly, there was a division of opinion when the original statute was passed, such that the majority felt that these controls needed to be imposed, but they make the whole effort essentially worthless. And so, if that were the case, now, an individual would have to appear in court for the actual court proceeding, but motions, bail review hearings, that sort of thing, in general, communication with an attorney, if the attorney could come to the court site, would set up a room here where the attorney could then communicate with the defendant in jail. So that would be more convenient for the attorney. So in general, it would very much improve communications, save the sheriff a whole ton of money, and be no more and probably less of a burden on the court. So if they pass that, I would be very, very happy.